Hey guys, Karoxiv here with another review. This time I'll be reading the GC06 Beethoven Ghost and Benkei Ghost set from Kamen Ghost. This is the 6th entry in the Ghost Chain series, and is the 4th set of extra ghosts that Ghost or Spectre can use to get new forms. This set includes a few things: 2 parka ghosts, 2 stands, and 2 accessories. So let's get started. First we have the Beethoven Ghost, which takes the form of a hooded longcoat. It's cast in metallic gray and has several elements that allude to it being based on Beethoven. Starting from the head, you can see that it has white trim all over it. On the side, has these curls that are meant to resemble Beethoven's hair, and within them you can also see some miniature speakers, to give the idea that it can send out sound attacks. Looking down at the body of the coat, you can see that the lapels take the form of piano keys. A nice bit of molding is that 2 of the pegs for connecting the body with the head and arms, or shoulders rather, are molded to look like the top black keys. You also see details resembling keys on the shoulders and on the 2 tassels on each arm, or the tassel on each shoulder rather. And then the rest of it is a simple design that just flows down to the bottom and has a small wisp-like tail. For articulation, you can move the shoulders at the ball joints, and then move the tassels forward and back, which allow for a bit of posability. The accessory it comes with is the Gun Saber in Nagina mode. Now this is a little bit of an incongruity, since Beethoven Damashi doesn't use the Nagina mode, but clearly Bandai just figured that they had to release it somehow, and so they figured that since Beethoven Damashi doesn't technically have a weapon, they would just use this to fill in. And so it's cast accurately. It shares the same details with the other ones. In this case, the 2 weapons from the set use the same coloring as the Beethoven Ghost. And you can see they even made sure to have part of the top of the blade indented to show where the other part was removed. And you can see that it also has the connection shown accurately down here. Second, we have the Benkei Ghost, which takes the form of a hooded robe. Going along with Benkei, it is designed to look like a Japanese Buddhist monk's robe. And you can see a little of design to make it look like it has some folds in the shoulders. There is some silver trim around the hood, a bit on the top, and along the shoulders and the sides. You also see that on the shoulders, as well as on these 2 small bands that hang off the arms, are Buddhist prayer beads. Another nice bit of molding here is that you can see that the pegs that are used to hold it all together were molded in the form of prayer beads so that they don't break up the design, which is a very nice touch, and it is nice to see them putting in some effort into keeping the design clean while still maintaining the system of having them kept together. Unfortunately, with this being all white like this, it does make the contrast of what will eventually be the face for Benkei Damashi contrast a lot more than with the other forms. And so for this one, this also has a bit of articulation, in that you can move the shoulders on the ball joints and rotate these parts down here. And of course, its accessory is the gun saber in hammer mode. And this is probably also the reason why they had the Nagina mode in as well, as these two are very similar. In fact, what you see here is actually two molds stuck together. They actually reused the Nagina mode mold twice for this, but you can see the Kumo Lantern up here, which has all the molding details it needs to. If you look here, you actually see a little bit of an indent and a gap there, meaning that the Kumo Lantern is a second piece that was molded separately, but then glued to the top here of a second Nagina mode. So admittedly that was probably a cost-saving measure, and so it makes sense that you'd have both of those two included in the same set. So next, let's do some ghost changes. So, starting off with Beethoven, the conversion is simple as always. First, remove him from the stand. Then, similarly to Musashi and Robin, fold the tassels to the back. And like always, fold up the face. And drop it over the body, securing the face on the head and the shoulders onto the body to make sure everything lines up properly. And there you have Kamen Ghost Beethoven Damashi. And so with this you have quite a dynamic look. Though you'd think that with this being grey and Ghost being black, it all kind of mushed together. Because you have these white elements and because it's a nice metallic color, there is a good bit of contrast. And of course this does still have the compound effect for the face. Now as far as Beethoven Damashi goes, it doesn't do too much in terms of dynamic movement, so posing isn't too hard. And generally posing for Beethoven consists of making it look like it's composing. So something like this. Of course, if you want to, you can make use of the Gungan Saber's Nagina mode and equip it to Beethoven Damashi. Just like so. Next, for Benkei, we of course have to first start by taking off the Beethoven Ghost. Setting off to the side. And take Benkei Ghost off its stand. Fold up the two bands so they rest on the shoulders. and fold up the face. Then do the same as before. And there we have Ghost in Benkei Damashi. And so here he definitely gives off a look of being pretty strong, thanks to the park ghost having some pretty big shoulders and pretty high shoulders too, which gives the upper torso a look of being somewhat muscular, at least the illusion anyway. Once again, you can see the compound effect through the face quite well, since it's practically clear. Unfortunately for me, mine is a little bit problematic in terms of a little quality control issue. As you can see, the one side of the hood doesn't quite fit in properly, as there is this little peg in there that's supposed to go into a rectangular hole, but it doesn't quite fit in, so one side of the hood is a little bit askewed. It also makes it a little hard for the face part to stay in place, but otherwise it looks good. Once again, the arm movement is limited by the movement of the shoulders, but you can kind of go around it. And of course, with this being Benkei Damashi, you're going to want to equip him with the Gun Saber in hammer mode. So with that, we can equip it in one hand with the grip. And also have him hold onto the lower part with his other hand, since this is supposed to be a two-handed weapon. If I can manage to keep it in there. One of the things about the Gun Saber hammer mode mold here is that because of the Kumon lantern up here, it does add a little bit of weight. So you do kind of want to try to have him hold it with two hands so that he can hold it up. So something like that will do pretty well. Of course, as always, either one of the ghosts can also be used on the Kamen Rider Spectre figure, as demonstrated here by Spectre Benkei Damashi. And there we go. So overall, I think this is another good ghost chain set. Both party ghosts are well represented, the details are captured quite accurately, and I definitely like how they added in the detail and that just nice little touch of having the pegs used to hold the different segments of the party ghosts together be made so that they match with the designs of the molds, and so the designs flow well and don't get broken up just by having those pegs there. And while it doesn't make too much sense for it to be in this set, it is still nice that they had the Nagina mode included, so that you could have all of the modes of the Gun Saber in figure form. So if you have the Ghost figure or Spectre figure, or both, then I definitely recommend picking up this set to get a couple more Ghost changes. So next time, I'll be reviewing the Deluxe Tokon Boost Ghost Icon. So thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, or share it. You can check me out on Facebook at facebook.com/KRX50. And for now, this is KRX50, Writing off.